Richard, and today I'm going to be making the ketogenic ice cream or mousse. And this is variation 1 in the recipe book. One of the things the book tells you is that we're going to cook every single recipe in this book so you can see how it's done, and we're going to just go straight through from the beginning to the end, and that way you know how long it takes, how hard you have to work, all the rest of it. I'm just going to go through the ingredients briefly. First of all, Truvia is a sugar, alcohol and stevia based sweetener. This container, they also make a baking sugar which contains real sugar, which is a very bad idea. Then I'm going to use electrolyte salt. The recipe for electrolyte salt is also in the recipe books. It's in the first 3 recipes. I'm going to use cocoa because I can flavor this any way I want. I could use, say, cocoa and mint, right? Or cocoa and caramel. Or peanut butter and caramel. Now this is a defatted peanut butter powder. And you can buy this on Amazon and some health food stores. And if I use this, I muscle up with more coconut oil in the mousse, because the whole idea is to make the highest fat food possible. And this stuff is delicious. This is protein powder, right? Then I need some vanilla, some fresh cream, and coconut milk. Now, these things are all laid out in the order I'm going to mix them and use them, because that way I can't make mistakes and forget any ingredient. I've got my utensils set out on the right-hand side. Spoon measures, cup measures, couple of scrapers. These are silicone. This one is complete handle, the whole shooting match. You can heat this to 450, 500 degrees, no problem at all. So you can use this for fried eggs, whatever. But being dished, it's very good for scraping things off the inside of a bowl, as you're going to see. So without further ado, let me jump into this recipe. I'm making a half quantity of what's in the book. So it's going to be a 1/4 cup of Truvia, 4 tablespoons to the 1/4 cup, which means I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of Truvia in here to begin with. Right? Now, taking care of that one, put it out of the way. I need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This is my electrolyte salt mix, and it's in a grinder. Makes it finer, easier to dissolve, easier to use. Right? Cocoa. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of cocoa for each can of coconut milk. Right? Approximately. Right, now, caramel. I am a big caramel fan. Let's take it out of the way. So, I'm going to put in, this is new caramel, so hopefully you'll already have yours open. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of caramel, right? So that takes care of my flavorings. Now, it was Tigger who came up with the way of mixing this, because he said, if you put all the dry ingredients in first, and then you cover them with the wet ingredients, then you don't get a cloud of cocoa and protein powder, right? So you want to put all your dry ingredients in first, because it makes a lot of sense from a point of view of not having a very messy kitchen. Protein powder, it's an option. You don't have to use protein powder, but if you're looking for a complete food, and particularly in the early days when you're going through basic training, it's a good idea to push your protein intake up a little, right? And since I've finished with all the flavorings, they go over here. Now, vanilla. I want a teaspoon of vanilla. And now I start with the wet ingredients. I want, for half the recipe, I want a half cup of fresh cream. And I took this out of a half-gallon container, so you'll understand that I really didn't want to have a whole lot of cream sitting on the counter. And now, the coconut milk. Now this is a really good brand of coconut milk. When you buy coconut milk, look at the calorie count on the can. The higher it is per serving, and typically a can is measured as 5 servings to the can, and this is 140 calories per serving. So times 5, it's 700 calories a can. This is a very calorific mousse. So, scrape the coconut milk off the lid. And you'll find there's a lot of liquid at the bottom of this. Now for this recipe, I don't want all that liquid. I'm going to come around and show you what I'm talking about. Can you see, Mickey, can you see in the can there? All that liquid that's in the can? Thanks. And this is the brand we like to use, One, which is, you'll be looking for a while to find a good coconut milk. But I can just pour that liquid out in the sink, right? And then scrape out the rest with my scraper, and I'm getting right inside that can and getting everything out because it's a dish scraper, right? And that's the can, about as clean as it's going to get. Now the next one. Same deal. Take your time. If you try to do this too fast, you will finish up with the water in the coconut milk squirting all over you. Well, busy throwing some of it in the sink. Never mind. It is a demonstration. And it's going to taste great anyway, right? So, done with these. And now, the next step is to beat it all together. So, I'm going to beat this for 2 or 3 minutes because coconut milk along with the cream, it's like you whip cream to get it whipped and firm. 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah. So you can see that it's now very firm, right? Well, not very firm, but put this in the fridge, and I'm going to take, where's my containers? I had some containers. Well, thank you. I have elves. There's elves, little helpers. Now this is the dollar store comes to our rescue. You got to remember with these foods that they are about twice as calorific as anything else you've ever eaten. This is just straight calories. And so when you put it away in the fridge, don't put it away in huge containers, because you want to be able to use this as a rescue food for when you leave the house, as a snack in the afternoon, or I'll eat this stuff for breakfast. It is a very high energy food. If you eat this for breakfast, you won't be hungry until the middle of the afternoon. And take it to work with you, and take some pancakes with you as well. This goes great on pancakes. But you can see 4 little containers, and each one of these is over 500 calories as a meal, which is really getting up there. So again, remember when you're eating this stuff, have a couple of mouthfuls, wait 10 minutes, and then have a couple more. Because you'll find in that 10 minutes your hunger systems catch up and say, I really don't need to eat. But the most important thing about the Mountain Olympus lifestyle is it's not a deprivation lifestyle. It's a reward lifestyle. And you always have to eat. You always have to not be hungry. You always have to be in a good mood and in a good place. All right? So I'm done. Thanks for watching.